Today in this presentation, I will explain the shortest remaining time first, or SRTF CPU scheduling algorithm. So SRTF is a preemptive scheduling algorithm. This means the CPU can stop a running process if a new process with a shorter remaining time arrives. So the main idea of SRTF is simple. The CPU always chooses the process with the shortest remaining burst time. Here is how SRTF works. Every time a new process arrives, the CPU checks all the processes in the ready queue. If the new process has a shorter remaining time than the current running process, the CPU will preempt or stop the current process and switch to the shorter one. The interrupted process is placed back into the ready queue. To understand SRTF, we need to know some important terms. First is arrival time. This is when a process enters the system. Second is burst time. It is the total time needed by the process to finish. Remaining time is the time left for the process to complete. And last, preemption. This means stopping a process before it finishes. So let us look at this example with three processes, P1, P2, and P3. P1 arrives at time 0 with a burst time of 8. P2 arrives at time 1 with a burst time of 4. And P3 arrives at time 2 with a burst time of 2. In scheduling steps, at time 0 only P1 is available, so the CPU runs P1. At the time 1, P2 arrives with a shorter burst time, so the CPU switches from P1 to P2. At the time 2, P3 arrives with the shortest remaining time, so the CPU switches again to the P3. And after P3 finishes, the CPU continues P2 and finally complete P1. In a Gantt chart, this Gantt chart shows the execution order of the process. So you can see how the CPU switches processes whenever a shorter remaining time becomes available. So in this example, P3 has 0 waiting time because it finishes immediately. So P1 has the longest waiting time because it was preempted several times. So this shows how SRTF favors short processes. So the advantage of SRTF is that it provides fast response time, especially for short processes. However, its disadvantages includes many context switches and long process may suffer for starvation. So to summarize, SRTF is preemptive CPU scheduling algorithm that always selects the process with the shortest remaining time. So it performs better than SGF in terms of response time, but it can be unfair to longest process. That's all, and thank you.